AI is here and growing, and it may be after your job or business. I'll talk about how to prevent that in this video. Hello, I'm Stephen Goldberg of Optimus Performance, bringing you practical tips and ideas on leadership, team development, and employee performance in the workplace. Now, we all know that AI is upon us, and it brings both threats and opportunities depending where you sit and how you respond to this situation. Change is inevitable. It's been happening for the last 50 to 100 years at an accelerated pace, and we cannot just let it happen to us. We need to be ready on how to respond. Otherwise, it can cripple us in terms of our employability and also our business if you're a business owner. So what do you do to prepare? And I'm going to explain how not only can you look at your skill set, but also other aspects of who you are in terms of your employability and even your leadership. For that, I'm going to use this whiteboard that's right behind me, and let's get going. So I invite you to follow along this exercise. Take a blank piece of paper and follow what I'm doing so that you'll get the most benefit from this exercise. And this exercise is called the You Incorporated. And I'm going to ask you to put your name. I'm going to put my name here at the top, Stephen Inc. Put your name with an incorporation and Inc. next to it. This means that you're like a business. Everybody's like a business when it comes to getting a job, to being employed, and our business is made of our assets. Just like any business, we have assets. And those assets are our talents and abilities. Now, we use these talents and abilities to generate results, which produces benefits, running out of space here, benefits to us and to our employer or our customers if we're a business. What are those benefits? Well, the first thing is money, right? Or if you're a business owner, profits. So that gives us means to support ourselves, our families. It also gives us the opportunity to buy nice things, have nice things, take vacations, and also build relationships, right? When we work, we don't work alone. We build relationships with others, so that's very important too. And you may think of other business that comes out of your work. It could be satisfaction. If you enjoy what you're doing, it's very important to have a sense of satisfaction from the work you produce. And also, it also produces growth. So those are some key benefits. Now, to achieve these benefits, we need to use these talents and abilities. So let's take an inventory of what those are. So the first one is knowledge and skills, or know-how. We could put know-how. Now, this is where AI is perhaps posing a threat or an opportunity, but I'm talking about it as a threat here. And I'm not going to talk about all the jobs that AI is seemingly going to replace. You could do a search, choose any chatbot, and ask what jobs will AI most likely replace in the next 5 to 10 years, maybe even sooner. And those are mostly, it seems, administrative type jobs that have a good component of repetitive work. So that's where automation right now is projected to replace a lot of jobs. The next talent and ability is your energy. So when you go to work, you execute your role using your energy, your drive, the pace at which you work. Now that's very important. The higher energy you are, the more you tend to get done in a day. The lower energy you are, the more focused you are. So there's a positive and a negative to it. You should be in a job that matches your energy level. For example, a salesperson that needs to hunt for new business continuously, open doors, needs to have a high energy to keep a fast pace to build their pipeline of sales opportunities. Somebody who's on the receiving end of sales, maybe, that is internal sales and waits for people to contact the company, may need lower energy and more patience to deal with each incoming call. So that's one thing. It should be aligned to the type of job that you have. The next thing is time. So how you use the time available to get things done. And of course, that's aligned with your energy level. But everybody needs to manage their time to achieve the results and get the benefits. The better you are at that, or using it to produce results, the more valuable you will be. And that's what this is about. It's like your talents and abilities are the value you bring to your supplier. Your supplier is your employer, or actually your client. They're your client, you're the supplier, and the more they value your talents and abilities, the more they will reward you and you can benefit from that. That's really the concept here. So increasing your value of your talents and abilities in the eyes of your customer, who may be your employer, is what you want to focus on. And that's where your know-how and skills, are they replaceable by AI? And how can you improve or change that? So I'm going to get back to that after I go through this list. The next thing is concentration. So in order to get things done, not only do you need the right energy for the job, you need to manage your time well, and you need to be able to focus long enough to get it done. Some jobs require more focus, some jobs require less focus. So as you can see, I'm sort of pointing to knowing yourself and finding the job that best suits you. The next thing is decisions. How you make decisions both in a timely manner and in an intelligent manner. So you want to combine time with intelligence to make the right decision within the right amount of time. The next thing is motivation. How motivated you are to do the work and do it well. So if you like the type of work that you're doing and you're skilled for it, then you'll be more motivated to go to work each day and do the job. And that's why, again, I'm saying that this is kind of like knowing yourself and understanding, well, what motivates me and what skills do I have, and that will keep me interested in doing the job. And the last thing I want to share is leadership. Now, this is very important because maybe you're not in a leadership role, but everybody needs to take leadership at certain times or be an example of good personal leadership. So this is really about personal leadership, which means being trustworthy, doing what you say you're going to do. It means being accountable, responsible. Everybody could do that. You don't have to be in a leadership or management role to show personal leadership. And the more you have or develop your personal leadership, the more valuable you're going to be and the more opportunities you're going to create for yourself. So these are all things to consider. Now, what I suggest you do is evaluate yourself in terms of your marketability on a scale of 1 to 10. So considering the threat or the opportunity of AI on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you measure your knowledge and skills in terms of marketing your talents and abilities for what's coming in the future? If you're on the lower end, you may give yourself a lower score, 5 or less. If you feel confident that your knowledge and skills will be marketable, they won't be replaced by AI in the near future, then you want to give yourself a higher score. I'm going to give myself a 7 because I feel that even with what I do in training and development and coaching, AI could play a factor in that to take part of what I do, perhaps. I'm not sure even at this point, but I'm not 100% confident that AI won't be coming after what I do. Energy, I give myself about a 7 as well. What do you score yourself? That's why I ask you to do this exercise yourself on a piece of paper. Time, I'm kind of a 6. My maybe higher energy translates into trying to do too many things at the same time or within a time frame. Maybe I'm not realistic enough. So that's something I could definitely improve. So the question is, how could I use this exercise to improve my talents and abilities? And so if I've chosen knowledge and skills as what I want to increase, and if I had a magic wand, if this was a magic wand, then I can wave it and go from a 7 to a 9 in terms of my skill. And maybe it's even lower when I think about it in terms of learning how to use agents, AI agents, to help my clients. Well, if I could go from a 7 to even just an 8 in my understanding and my skill set there, because maybe I'm only a 3 when it comes to AI agents, well, what would that translate for me in terms of opportunities? Well, first of all, it would give me more confidence. It would give me less fear. So I'm asking you to do the same thing here. Because AI could, the threat of AI could instill fear. Which one of these would you feel would increase your value to your clients or to your employer or to the market? That's really what it's about. And maybe I can make more money. by jumping on the AI bandwagon, and then I could buy more toys or whatever, take more vacations, all these benefits that I would achieve. So what for you would be most significant in terms of developing as part of your talents and abilities? That's what this exercise is all about. If you're being threatened by AI, well, on the other hand, you could search for what jobs will AI open up, so you could see what you're currently doing, what you can transition to. So part of this exercise is really about strategic thinking. And that when change is afoot, we need to always be thinking strategically about our future. And change has been afoot for the last 50 to 100 years at a very rapid pace because of technology mainly. But that creates, again, both threats and opportunities when you think of it from a strategic perspective. So if you've identified that your knowledge and skills are being threatened by AI, well, search for what opportunities AI can bring you that aligns with where you are in your knowledge and skills, so that you could see what you could learn to reinvent yourself. But don't neglect these other things as well, because this is where it adds value to your marketability, your talents and abilities. And you know that Einstein said that he only used estimated 10% of his potential. And that means that there was 90% untapped potential that he saw for himself. If Einstein used only 10%, I probably use maybe even just 5%, which means I have great opportunity for improvement, and we all do. So there's definitely room for improvement, but we need to make an effort towards it. We need to identify what we need to do, what actions we need to take, and start moving towards that. So this exercise is really about helping you to think through where you're at, what you can do, and then I have my goal planning worksheet, which I'll put a link to in the description, that you can use to start planning out a goal to move towards improving whatever it is that you chose from this list. So again, I hope you've done the exercise with me. If not, you can review the video again and do it, and then go on to setting a goal for yourself and use my goal planning worksheet, because that's the best method that I know to actually work on a goal, plan it out, look at both the benefits to you, the obstacles and solutions, and the action steps you need to take. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. I hope you found this exercise useful and that you'll actually act on it. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, I encourage you and invite you to do so now and turn on notifications to get news of new videos. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up so others can discover it as well. Thank you for listening, and we'll talk again soon.